type of emergency situation, communication is absolutely critical, and it's a crucial component to a good response. And one of the things that will help schools most is to have a good two-way radio communication system established in their school so that it allows for free communication during an emergency. Two-way radios can also be used in your day-to-day activities as well. I would suggest doing multiple channels on the radio so that everyday business is on one channel. In an emergency situation, you switch to another channel, especially if multiple different departments or people are using those radios in your everyday school activities. Radios can be used by administrators, by teachers, by your maintenance personnel, IT personnel, and if you have SROs or security responders in the school, it's crucial that they have two-way radio communication as well. So the benefits of two-way radio communication during especially an emergency are that you get up-to-date, real-time updates because the radios are mobile and the people using them then can be mobile as well through the school. So schools have a variety of ways to communicate, including intercom systems, paging systems, even cell phones have been utilized to communicate during crises at schools. But the benefit of having a two-way radio, again, is that that radio is mobile with the person, so you get more of a live update as far as what's going on with the situation. Intercoms are great. They're a great way to initiate lockdowns or other emergency procedures for your classrooms to let your teachers know what's going on. But the intercom system is static to the individual rooms, and it doesn't have the flexibility to be able to move throughout the facility and still communicate. Cell phones, again, they're also a great way of communicating. However, during an emergency, cell phone systems can often get overwhelmed very quickly. Many times, a multitude of people will try to use their cell phones when they know an emergency is happening and the local cell system just can't handle that volume of traffic. And so while intercoms and cell phones are great ways to communicate, they might fail or have shortcomings during an emergency. Two-way radios, though, overcome some of those shortcomings because they're built onto their own channel system. They don't rely on a cell network. They don't rely on being in a stationary position. So again, it allows the responder, the school admin, whoever needs to use them during that crisis to be mobile and be flexible with where and how they're communicating. Now, it's important to note when you're using a two-way radio system that you have to practice. You do not want the first use of that radio system, or at least the first use in quite a while of that radio system, to be during an emergency, because people react differently under stress, and the downside to a two-way radio system is one person, if they get on that radio and start talking at length, they dominate that radio traffic, and no one else can break in and get a word in edgewise. People have to keep their radio communications short. They have to keep them simple so they're easily understood, and that just requires some training with it. So two-way radio communications, absolutely crucial step that schools need to take during any type of emergency situation. Now, if your school has school resource officers or security responders, things like that, they also need to be on a two-way radio system, and they need the ability to also be patched into the school's two-way radio system. For instance, school resource officers, they'll have their own mobile two-way radio communication with their local sheriff dispatch. But it's crucial that that SRO can also tie into the two-way radio system of the school. That will allow for a better and more informed response. Two-way radios help guide emergency responders to the scene, whether it's an active shooter, a fire, a tornado, whatever the emergency situation is. Those two-way radios allow better and more effective communication to get the response there quicker and to make sure that they have all the pieces in place they need to successfully respond to the emergency. So once again, to sum up, two-way radios are a crucial part that every school should have, or should at least seriously consider, to add to their communication arsenal so that they have multiple redundant systems to let each school know there's an emergency going on and this is what I need you to do. Again, it helps guide responders in as well, and it can make the overall situation more effective. It'll help it be resolved more quickly, and everyone will have the information that they need to proceed accordingly.